your side. That works.
Are we live? Yes, we are live. Hello. We are sitting. Hi, it's Petrie from Barefoot Ambition, and we are on Facebook Live with the wonderful Alisoun Mackenzie.
Oh,
hi,
it's
sweetheart.
lovely to be doing this again.
I know. We've done a few chats, haven't we?
We have done a couple.
Mm-hmm. So the reason Alisoun is sitting with me today, we've given you the view today of the room with the view from our home here in North Berwick, is that next Thursday Alisoun is coming to do her second Barefoot talk.
I know, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
2 years
I think
ago.
the first one.
2 years ago, Alisoun was our very first speaker, and I'm delighted that she's come back, and she's come back to talk about this wonderful book, Give to Profit. Now, a year ago, I was in New York with you, and you were, we all went away to write the book. Mine is early stages. Hers is being born. And during that time, you completely scrubbed everything that you'd written. How many words had you actually written at that point?
I had written pretty much the first draft, so I'd probably written...
So that was your shitty first draft?
No, well, it wasn't too shitty. I just had to add to it.
In terms of you have to get that bit out first, and
Yes.
then you get to sculpt or you do.
Yes. Well, I'd written probably about 30,000 words.
Wow.
And yes, we were away. We were away with another good friend, Jennifer Main.
Jennifer Main.
And so, yes, and there I was thinking I'd pretty much done what I would set out to do for the week. And after a few drinks and tarot cards, Jen very kindly suggested that Give to Profit grow up. And I can't remember just being so shaken and just thinking, what do I do with that?
I thought you took it really well, Jen, I have to say. I remember sort of just nodding, going, yes, it needs to grow up, it needs to grow up. And I was thinking, how that's going to grow up, because we didn't know what you'd written. But, you totally just then, what happened is 2 mornings later, she came down with post-it notes, and she stuck them all over the kitchen table, and she went, that's my book. And we were just like, wow, that's like clarity. And that was it. You just went,
I did, but you had a part to play as well.
of course.
Because one of the things that you'd said to me, you kept going on about watching Marie Folio videos.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, I hadn't connected with her years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
So I'd been resisting that.
Because I was doing B-School that week.
Yeah, you were doing
B-School
B-School
my
stuff.
B-School. Yeah.
And so one of the things I did after Jen had made that suggestion was the next morning I had looked at Marie Folio and I had found an interview with somebody who set up an organisation called Samasource, which when I watched that was actually one of my aha moments.
Yes, because I told you about her.
That's right.
She's the one that outsourced.
With Jana, yeah.
And she's like a Harvard,
That's right, Harvard graduate who'd set up a social enterprise that outsources and has impact around the world now, but also in America.
Yeah.
And so, watching that video was a bit of an aha moment of, well, the book is more, because originally the book was about how to raise funds for charities through your business. And I'd been doing much more than that. And then I watched that video and thought, I think I could look at, extending the scope of this. So I have to thank you too.
Oh, well, that's totally, that's what it's all about, isn't it? That whole kind of mixing. But what you did is you actually reached out to her, I think, didn't you? Did you not connect with her?
Not with her, but a few other people.
Okay.
Yes, I plan to.
You do?
I plan to. I'd love to have her on my podcast in case you ever get to watch this.
Yeah.
You've got to put these things out there.
Yes, we wish you'd like her on your podcast. What's her name again?
Leila Jana.
Anyone who's connected to Leila, let's connect her to Alisoun. That'd be great. So Alisoun, next week, Alisoun comes to the Barefoot Sanctuary in North Berwick to do her second talk, and we're doing it as a fundraiser. I mean, my background stemming from growing up in Northern Ireland, my grandfather totally built this model. He was a walking, talking product of this. And it just was so interweaved into his business. He was a cattle dealer, a farmer, and every year he had these fundraising events, and he put like a prize bull on auction and all of this stuff. And I remember my brother Damien, who you met, we were both very, inspired by that as kids. And it's been something that's just tipping away at the back about, that is to, you've got to build that into your model, which is why I'm excited to now have it in front of me, but also realizing that we're actually knowing that you're doing it in lots of different ways kind of gives you, sort of reinforces your why as to why you're building a business in the first place. You know, that you're just, even whatever type of business you have, if the why has got a socially impacting reason, it just is great to remember that. So lots of people are probably doing it already in some ways, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was for me, was the realization was that, you know, I was already doing so much anyway.
Yeah.
And then what I was looking at was, well, how do we extend this? Because especially nowadays, customers, consumers want to buy from people that are having social impact.
Totally.
You know, we probably make choices around that, just personally, you know. And
when you see it, it's like a driver now.
It is,
restaurants
isn't it?
and
yeah, you think differently, don't you? You just think, oh, that's nice. Yes, they've got good values.
And then you start to look for it from other companies, which is the sort of tipping point will come.
Exactly. And if that is what our customers are doing and what our potential clients are doing, then how do we as businesses not only do it, but demonstrate we're doing it, so they know we're doing it, but also they know that we're making smart choices about how we're doing it.
Sure.
So that's what a lot of the book, you know, that's where the journey of the book went. And then, of course, I also discovered there was legislation involved in fundraising, which really threw me. that threw the book back about 4 months to try and decipher what that was about and how I could communicate that in a way that people would know what to do to make sure they apply the law but not be put off by it at the same time.
And I find that very encouraging as well, just from the parts that I've kind of gone, okay, so but the realisation that it's constantly changing as well. So you have to sort of keep up with that. So there'll be lots of updates. Yeah. So next week we're doing the talk, and we're actually going to implement the model. So for every ticket sold, £5 is going to 2 charities, the Water Bearers Org and your buddy, what's it called, the actual charity?
It's a social enterprise locally, and we're going to be buying Buddy Bear packs.
Which is the anti-bullying packs.
Anti-bullying packs for schools in North Berwick. So it's very much local schools are going to benefit, and that's those are provided by a social enterprise here called Lead a Bright Future.
Fab. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing next week, and just sort of demonstrating the whole concept, and there'll be kind of a workshop scenario kind of thing.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll give a talk about it, but I thought what would be nice is that we use that event as an example. Yeah. So we'll bring it alive by doing different things and really give everybody an opportunity, any business owner locally who just wants to know how to have more social impact, just to give them the opportunity to share ideas, connect with one another, and ask questions. Because have a great fun night and raise some funds.
Yeah, there's like just, you know, many minds make light work, and just coming together with, because I think we all want to do something, but it's often it feels quite overwhelming. But if you connect with a few others, then suddenly.
Totally.
So what I wanted to find out about was, what's the impact been? Because you obviously launched the book. You launched the book, what, a month ago?
No, 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks
In fact, 4 weeks ago, just on 4 weeks ago.
And what's the feedback been? And
I've been so amazed, because I had the launch party on the Tuesday night, and that was really good to get the feedback, both on the night, but I had a film of it made, and now I've got people watching the film on social media, watching the film, buying the book, and then telling me they're buying the book on the back of the film, which, because you never know who's buying your books. It's a strange thing. So that's been amazing. And then I flew out to Brussels 2 days after that to do my first talk on Give to Profit at a conference. And they blew me away, because every single person in the audience, even those that didn't think that they would be ready for it, that they were a new business, you know, for instance, and didn't know how they could do that, they were so inspired and gave so many ideas, sold lots of books, and already I've got people wanting some kind of online membership community around that for ongoing support to keep them motivated and help them implement their ideas, which is really, really exciting. But actually, it's just things like people getting in touch saying, I've bought your book, I think it's brilliant, and when's your podcast launching, and how can I help you? And I think it's because I think one of the reasons is because it is very different to my last book that I launched.
The Heartitude. What was it? 9 Principles of
Heartitude and the 9 Principles of Heart-Centered Success, which people really liked. But there's this book, and Give to Profit. Once you know what I teach in it, what people quite often say is, oh my God, that's so obvious. Why was I not doing that? Yes. Or maybe I was doing it, and if I tweak it slightly, I could just have more impact. And because there's no other book in the world on this topic,
Amazing.
People are just going, if you like it, buy, I'll buy the book. And already, in Brussels, people were saying, right, I'm going to start doing stuff with us. I want to build a school in Africa. I've got people I want to contact. I've had somebody already book their trip to Nepal next year to go off and help at a school in Nepal. I've had somebody else who runs a divorce company in the States. She came to the conference. And she does Divorce with Love, which, if you can imagine, in the States where it's all,
Her name's not Linda, is it?
No, she does Divorce with Love. Goes to court case, and it's all about that. But she's now supporting a local project, which is all for children who have been abused and to be put in a safe place. And she connects with them through the divorce cases. And that's happened in a month already. She's already making payments and supporting that charity.
Oh my gosh!
And that's been in 4 weeks. Yeah. So I'm really excited about where it's going to go. Yeah. I don't know where it's going to go, and I'm just at the start of this journey and excited to help anybody who wants to do this.
Fantastic! I can see someone's watching there, but I can't see who it is.
Hello!
Lorena! And Lorena's given a prize for next week.
That's right,
so.
yes! Thank you so much!
The whole concept, and you've mentioned earlier about, what stage do people feel they need to have an existing business to come. I would totally support you in saying absolutely not, because it's something that they can then build in from the day, when they hit the ground running, rather than, even at the stage of 3 years in, you're like, okay, now you can put things in, but actually, I'm wanting to do a bespoke product that I think, that product, just one product, that will be specifically to do with one of my charities, and it's just like being able to maybe see that product, the impact.
Have that vision for
to see it, so that's before something's been launched. So I think that people who have any kind of idea want to generate either a club or even a club, it doesn't even have to be a business, anything that has to raise money.
And I think that's the point. I've been getting a lot of interest from social enterprises and charities saying, well, in fact, somebody got in touch with me and said, do you do the opposite of what you teach in the book? And I said, what do you mean?
Explain.
What do you mean? And she runs a social enterprise that's needing money. And of course, what a lot of social enterprises and businesses do is they try and get money from the big corporates or the big organisations. Yeah. But there aren't many of them, and there's a lot of small causes. Yes. Most small causes and charities have not thought about, what about going to small business owners? Sure. It's like there's just never been this connection made. So I am now exploring what I can do to connect small. So the book's written for small to medium-sized businesses, although my husband tells me he's now changing what he does in the big corporate world on the back of the book as well. So anybody from corporate world could come along. If it's particularly people from small local social enterprises and charities who want to just get ideas about how they can connect to local businesses. Yes. Because what I teach in here is give business ideas for how they can support causes and what to look for in the causes they select. Which means that reading the book or coming along would be really helpful for those causes too.
So are there any particular examples you can give to people of businesses that are already adapting the model, or since you've launched the book, that just actual practical examples of companies that how they're doing it, that you sort of go, oh my god, that you said that's so obvious, but yet it wasn't so obvious, in particular brands or...
In terms of locally, well, I guess actually the example would be the one I've just given about the woman who has aligned herself to a cause which is around abuse of children, which comes up quite a lot when she's doing divorce cases. Sure, yeah. So now she's actually at this point she's doing more philanthropic, so she's donating money. Yeah. However, we're doing a fundraiser for her audience where we're going to so she's going to start to incorporate that into her marketing strategies. Okay. She's going to do it that way. I'm trying to think of anybody locally who is doing, we're doing this obviously as a fundraising event, as a standalone fundraising event. I've been doing them more as things like, building them into my marketing strategies, or going out and volunteering, with different local enterprises. And that's one of the things, I had somebody on the phone I spoke to yesterday, involved in a local charity looking for trustees. And I've been running a business network where there are loads of people who want to somehow get involved in local charities. And it's like, how don't we not look at how we connect you? Yes, connect the dots. So I would say that in the last 4 weeks, I've not seen that many connections yet, but I'm getting requests for, how do I connect and what do I do? And what I've got to do is work out, how do I do that bit? How can I work out a way of connecting them all in a way that isn't going to take up all my, because I'm literally getting more requests. I'm getting around 2 or 3 requests for podcasts every week. Well, for a while it was every day for the first couple of weeks. Now it's gone down to
feels like you need a Give to Profit team.
Possibly, yeah, possibly in time, and that's what I'm about to go off to Australia to do fundraising. That's another example, actually.
But that could also be a way of people getting involved, just becoming involved, just giving their time.
Giving their time in the advocate, definitely with the advocates. And this conference I'm going over to in Brisbane, I'm going over. It's for tapping.
Yeah. Which is emotional freedom technique tapping.
And we are looking, part of that conference, which is a conference, there's professionals, medical practitioners there learning tapping.
Gosh, that's exciting.
It's fantastic. And it's all about tapping with science and medical background. I'm going to be selling my miracle bead bracelets there, raising funds for it. We're going to be having an auction, like a crowdfunding campaign that will be happening live at the event.
Wow.
We're going to be doing raffles, but we're also going to be, I'm offering a free Give to Profit training for everybody there as part of the auction.
Wow.
So we're going to teach them Give to Profit so they can all become advocates for this local project. So effectively, that local project, like Australia, will have a team of business owners ready to raise funds for it. Wow. So that project instantly becomes self-sustaining.
Wow. Yeah, because that's one of the big things. For people that maybe are aware of what Alisoun's done before, your sort of how you started in almost this journey was a few years after you'd taken redundancy, you went to Rwanda and you were very involved with the organisation there. You're still involved in that. Yeah. But one of the things that became clear was that unless we can empower and sort of help people to generate their own, the sort of just handing isn't actually ever sustainable. No. And that's really the sort of why you're so passionate about this. So that you're enabling people to sort of create their own sustenance in that way.
Totally. And to be smart in the choices they make around the causes they support. Because yes, there are don't get me wrong, there are times, when there's been an earthquake or a natural disaster, critical aid needs to get to those people, and that takes money. There's money is needed. But it's actually been quite savvy in terms of who we choose to donate our money to. So we know that it's being used for a positive, that it's being used well and it's having the impact that we would like it to have. Yeah. Which isn't always actually about choosing the causes that have low operating costs.
No,
because
you covered that.
Yes,
that's good.
Yes. Because for anybody who's watching this who has,
because I would have been guilty of going.
Oh, I was.
What Alice is talking about here is that we would say, when charities say, 100% of all funds go to the cause. Well, not what would be
to the cause,
or direct to the people that need it. Yeah. People on the ground that need it, and obviously that is ideally wonderful. But then, who is putting it onto the ground, and how are they able to be sustained unless their costs are getting met? Because obviously people can't, unless they're totally aligned with it. So it's kind of the whole operational part of anything has to be well structured and well efficient. Yeah. So actually, the organisation, the operational side is very important. I guess sometimes people get a bit upset about it. Feels like they're giving to charities that then spend all that money on marketing. Yeah. And it is. That's where it is. It's about being savvy, and the marketing's all right as long as they're getting a really good return on the marketing. It's about the impact. It's rather than thinking about it. I talk about it's not the contribution. It's not the money we give. It's the impact we have that's important. Yeah. And choosing that. So because we're all going to make an impact. We all make an impact every single day. That's just the very essence of being a human being. But it's realizing that we could actually harness what is close into our heart to make a more powerfully positive impact if we just owned it. Now that was what really struck me about your book. You said you talked about Prince and the fact that it was only after his death that people realised that. I think the same happened with what's Wham singer? George Michael.
That's
Again,
right.
Same
That's
thing.
right.
After
That's
he
right.
died, it came out that he'd been doing all this philanthropic work. And the fact is that by keeping it quiet, we're not inspiring others or motivating others to do it in that way. So it's actually good to be.
And we're not helping the cause by being quiet. And I think here it's probably quite important to give a distinction between what we do through our business and what we do personally. Because I can understand why people like Prince or George Michael, like any other
the fact
human
is, they
being.
made an impact anyway.
Yes, exactly. And we maybe don't want to always say, but it's about.
Because then they could get approached by so many.
That's right. It's about choosing, well, why am I doing this? If the charity or cause would like us to speak about it and we feel comfortable doing it, then explore that. If the intention, I mean, this book is about growing your business by having supporting charities, social causes. If you don't tell anyone you're doing it, you're not going to grow your business by doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that this is a strategy to get more clients, because this will never work for anybody who just comes into it for that. This is for people who are genuinely kind people, who support causes personally, who like helping people, who want to make a difference, and for a lot of people who just haven't thought that they can link their charitable giving to their business.
Yeah, it's
Let's
almost
just bring it together.
Yeah, it's actually, because that's been the biggest thing for me, and it's now but I was probably certain things that I was doing that I wasn't sharing that I was doing. I was just doing them, putting them through, as a business, supporting different things. But then you start to do it, and it feels so good to support other things through something that you can offer as your business, because then you're making an impact. You know that the work you do is of value because it has another impact, and it's helped, that you can sort of see you've talked about that before, the ripple effect. You can see where one little thing. What was the model you talked about? It was to do with a book launch, of when you did a book launch. I don't know if it was to do with David Hamilton's book launch.
Yes, that's one of the ones I'll talk about at the event next week. It's
so
how
come to the event. You'll talk about
how we turned what could have been one particular type of book launch into one that we raised money, and it was a brilliant red carpet event as well. So I'll be explaining how we did that and how we managed it as an example, as well as use next week as an example too.
So next week we're going to do the talk, and as I say, £5 from every ticket will go between the two different charities. We're also doing a raffle. We've been given some really great prizes by practitioners from the Barefoot Sanctuary and by people connected with you in the HeartBiz Hub. And so those are going to be up for grabs as well. And is there anything else that we've got? Ailey May's Raw Chocolate supporting the event as always. There'll be a cup of hot tea as you come in the door. And is there anything else that?
I would just say that if you like supporting charities and social causes personally anyway, and happen to run a business, or you're involved in any of that type of organisation, or you're just curious, come along and have a good night. The nights that you organise at Barefoot are always really good, and I think what it also is a brilliant opportunity just to connect with other like-minded people and share ideas. I love coming along to your evenings, and I feel very honoured to be asked to come back.
I know, it's actually fantastic to say returning speaker. It's like incredible that's 2 years. But I suppose from my point of view, the idea of the Barefoot Talks, it's a total win-win, because I get to hear really great speakers, inspirational speakers, and then other people get to come and check out the Barefoot Sanctuary, which can be scary for some people to go up the stairs and for the first time. And what a lot of people have fed back to me is that they love meeting other people in the audience, and they always meet exactly who they're meant to meet, and that can spark different connections. So we definitely want to see new people coming and returning people coming through the door. So
it'll be great fun. I'm so looking forward to it.
Yes, cool. So I will post below this link, below this feed, the link so that you can book your tickets online. We would love it if you could book them online. It just makes the whole thing much smoother. But obviously you will be able to also pay on the door. But the PayPal link is very simple. And yeah, it's going to be awesome.
We're going to have a great night.
We're
Thank
gonna
you
have a great
so
night.
much for watching, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye for now. And